Oh man, this smells amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna make some tea with this and some oil. So it's a lot, but there's still a lot left in there. And even if you take it down so far and you've got the heads right here that are kind of dark, those have been spreading seed. So you'll have plenty of seed next year in your garden. I am going to be collecting the seeds, so if anybody wants holy basil, and selling it. I'm going to put this inside and we'll do a video on that later. I have a lot of other work to do, but I am going to get some of these in my dehydrator. A good way to do it, I'm going to do it in the dehydrator, but if you have a freeze dryer, freeze dry it because it's going to stay a lot fresher for tea and stuff like that. So today we are going to process our holy basil, also known as tulsi. I'm going to take off the bits like this, and we're going to collect the seeds from it. So this is the flower that turned into seeds, and it gets nice and dry. It just dries out, and I'll show you also how to collect the seeds from that. But you can use from the top of the plant. You can use even the woody parts. But I'm not collecting that because I don't have a freeze dryer, so I can't really collect the woody bits. But I can go ahead and collect the rest of it and make that into a nice tea. I also will be collecting some really nice stems and saving those to make an oil, and I'll show you that today too. So we're gonna make some tea and some oil. We'll taste the tea at the very end of this video. It's not turned to seed yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and save that flower and put it in my tea. But you can see at the end of some of these stems, I'm going to take the flowers and we're going to dehydrate those, but those have seeds on it, so I'm going to save that bit. The same with this stem. It's mostly seeds, so I'm just going to save those leaves to dehydrate and the tip of this one. Same with this one here. I'll break it off there. Save the seeds. You don't really want the seeds in your tea. It's not toxic or anything. I just want to save the seeds. I'm going to put that in a face lotion so that if I have like puffiness around my eyes, stuff like that, just stuff like that, period. This should help with that. So a lot of people use it for the anti-inflammatory properties. It also can be used along with other teas that are anti-inflammatory, like passion flower that helps. Goldenrod is very anti-inflammatory too. And you can also make a tea out of mullein, which is antiviral, anti-inflammatory. I've made in the past with you guys. And we have passion flower in there, and then we have goldenrod in there. And I keep it in a jar, and then I go through that, just that little bit in there, about every week. So I keep the rest of it in a jar and just seal it up. And so we're gonna make this, and then I'll show you, now that you see how I've done that, I'll show you the next steps of dehydrating it. You just put it in your dehydrator. I just have a normal dehydrator that doesn't even have temperature control. I have tried hanging it because I wanted to see how that worked. And they are drying very slowly. And I noticed that some of the leaves get darker. So we'll see what the dehydrator does compared to just hanging it like that. I have my holy basil in this cheap food dehydrator. Okay, you guys, I get in here with scissors and just cut this. It's really woodsy. And so I just kind of cut it like so. And I have my tea thing here, so we're going to give it a taste in a minute. And it only took like a couple hours to dry. And so it's ready to go. And so let's just do a teaspoon of this. So I have a teaspoon in my little infuser. Here we go, I'm pouring it in. And I have a feeling I'm gonna have to let this sit a little longer because it is kind of a woodsy tea. But I'll let you know. And I haven't put any sweetener in it. If I do put sweetener in it, it will be this, I love this sweetener. It's just got a little hint of vanilla and it sweetens. All I have to put it in is a couple drops, and this is what we use for our coffee, our tea. It's amazing stuff. I'll leave a link for this below if you guys are interested, but we're gonna see the color is kind of brownish. And we're gonna first taste it without the sweetener and then with the sweetener. I collected some very healthy branches, and now I'm just gonna clean those off, and we're gonna blanch them and make them into an oil, and I'll show you how I do that. And then you can see how healthy these ones are. They're just beautiful. Basil. And then I just strip them off just like that. And I'm just gonna put these in here. I like to do that when I blanch things. That's gonna kill anything on there too, guys. Okay, now that I have this at a boil, I'm gonna put my holy basil in there, tulsi. We just want it to wilt down a little bit. Like that. So now I'm gonna I drained the tulsi, holy basil in. Now I'm putting it in my blender. And I have a cup of extra virgin olive oil in here. You guys can see there. Put my lid on here. Okay, got it clicked in there. And then I'm gonna just pour this into my pot. And this isn't a fine mesh strainer, but I want it really infused because, again, I'm gonna use this for face cream. We're going to boil off some of that water. We're going to just let this simmer until it kind of stops bubbling or slows down on its bubbling, because remember, this is going to be in tallow cream. Looks like some stuff came through that I have to grab. Bubbles are just getting rid of any excess water in there. Okay. Isn't that pretty, how green it is? And that's just gonna catch any extra bits that I don't want in there. It is. Just draining through that tea towel. It is nice and green. Wow. Super green. So that's what I'm going to be adding as an oil to my face cream, and I hope it doesn't turn. There will be other oils in there. My face cream is going to be made out of tallow mainly a little vitamin E and this. And if it's too green, then I'll experiment with it. I don't really need a lot of this because a lot goes a long way with tulsi. So I'm not too worried about it. So with the tea, only use a tablespoon, and you will have to let it sit for a while, and I'll show you the color that it came out to be. Just kind of a tannish color. Tastes good with a little bit of sweetener in it. And I'll try it, experiment with it with passion flower and goldenrod. Goldenrod kind of has an oregano taste. Passion flower kind of has its own taste, but it's really good. I can't really describe it. It's just really tasty. So got my whole batch, my other batch of tea going, and I have this to put in here. Oops. It's another tea. And I think I'll just put it in here, and we'll label it just like we labeled those, and enjoy all winter long. Thank you for watching today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. God bless. Bye.